Well, uh, hello, hi, hello, hi. How's it going? Hello, hi, welcome. I am, I am. It's been a minute. I've got some updates, and by that I mean I've got some fun stories. I've got some absolutely very fun stories. If you can hear how am I am currently sick, but besides that I'm good. Which is part of the story actually. So yeah, today's gonna be a short stream where I just tell you my trip adventures. I unfortunately did not record anything because I was trying to live in the moment. And so, yeah, I didn't record anything, so no vlog, unfortunately, but I will be telling you all about my adventures in. Oh, hello, email. All about my adventures in Cancun. Um, as well as stuff that happened outside of Cancun and other things that just amazing, just great. Excuse me, I should mute that. I'm gonna mute that next time. I'm sorry. Um, but welcome. I've got some absolutely wild stories. If I do say so myself, I've got So let's get down into this. Like I said, this is gonna be a short stream. I just want to update you guys because one, I'm sick, so I don't want to like talk too much and like lose my voice or something. And two, because I'm sick, I don't want to like, you know, curse you guys with my existence for too long with my sick existence. I'd rather just chill out and you know, when I'm better, I can get back to a longer gaming stream. But yeah, how are you doing, zombie? How are people doing? I am just whoa, hello. How do I how do I how do I ba 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 ba. But I don't know what that did. I don't know how to do this. I'm very bad at this. But anywho, how are people doing? I'm glad to hear you're doing good, zombie. I've got some crazy stories from Cancun. We're gonna get into this. So, day one. And by day one I mean the day before we leave. This is January 2nd. All right. I show up to my apartment like early in the morning because I just wanted to be at my apartment. And then my friend who's coming along with my family shows up around, let's say, like 9 p.m., something like that. A little later maybe, but he shows up. And we're having fun, we're chilling out, we're watching some anime as we weebs do. And then my family shows up because we're going to take a nap at my place and then drive to the airport because my apartment is close to the airport. So my family shows up. It's now like 11 p.m. Right, and I was like, "Family, how did you do this?" Um, because like they had been getting ready for the past like several hours, and then it took them that long. It was wild. But then they came with a story, with some tea, if you will. They came with some absolutely piping tea. So, they show up, and my siblings immediately go, "We have a story," and I go, "Okay, what's the story?" And my siblings go, "Okay, so you know how the rest of our family was supposed to also go to Cancun?" And I was like, "Yes, of course, I've been dreading this. I really didn't want them to go because I don't like them particularly." And they go, "Well, do I have some great news for you?" And I go, "What do you mean?" And basically, they go on to tell me, my siblings and my parents go on to tell me that The entire time that my parents are doing this, planning this trip, um, the reason why we started planning for this trip was because my aunt, um, she was baptizing her child in Mexico, and then from there, after the celebrations, we were going to go to Cancun all together after celebrating the baptism and all that stuff, right? You know, uh, so that was the plan. But unfortunately for my aunt, she was the one that planned this whole thing, and what ended up happening was the agency she booked through, her agent ended up rug pulling them. So every every family that booked with that agent, being every family besides mine own, which was 24 families. 24 families got the rug pulled on them. So none of them ended up going to Cancun. And my family was the only family to go. Because my dad booked with the actual hotel when nobody else did. So to put this into perspective, 24 families, as what my parents told me, equates to about, in US dollars, $400,000 is roughly what that translates to. This person stole $400,000 from the rest of my family. And my family was the only family to make it out of this unscathed. It was hilarious, if I'm being completely honest. Because, no, because, like, it's bad that they lost money and stuff, sure, but it's so funny because the entire time, up until, that's crazy, right? Yeah, it's wild. The entire time that uh like leading up to the day they got rug pulled, they were all of my dad's family was yelling at him that he was stupid and that we were going to be the only ones to not go because it was a scam and all this stuff. And then they got rug pulled and we still went. Do you understand how wild that is? Like, it's it's insane. And we haven't even made it to the trip yet. This is day before we leave for the trip. Okay? This is how insane this week has been for me. The last week. This is how insane last week was for me. Was before the trip. And I found out before the trip that the rest of my family collectively lost $400,000, and my family was the only one to be able to go to this trip. Okay? This is the levels of insanity that we're facing here. Now, moving on. The 3rd of January, we had to wake up at 4 in the morning. And my sleep schedule was already pretty messed up. So I was like, you know what, guys? I will stay up till 4 a.m. to wake you guys up, everybody else up, and then, we can be on our way on time, and I can, sleep on the way or whatever. So I stayed up till 4 a.m. while everybody else um, went to bed. Oh, I forget if it was 4 or 5, but one of those times. And I stayed up till then. The rest of my family and my friend went to bed, and I stayed up, and I just watched like anime and stuff. I was watching One Piece, if I'm being completely honest. It's phenomenal. Okay, One Piece, check it out. It's great. But yeah, so yeah, so I was just watching anime the entire time, and like doing whatever in the time that in the like friggin' 5 hours that everybody was asleep because they didn't end up going to bed till like midnight anyways. So, um, they all got to sleep and stuff. But yeah, so after that, I wake them up and we all get ready to leave and stuff, and we head out and stuff, and we make it to the airport. And we're still like really early because my parents decided that they wanted to leave really early. Uh, because our flight wasn't even until like noon, and my parents wanted to leave at like 5 in the morning. So we got there with so much time to spare. Like we were literally sitting there, and I took a total of 2 30-minute power naps on the way to the airport. So I'm currently running on an hour of sleep at this point. But I'm thriving. So we're sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden, again, we are still not even on the plane. All of a sudden, my father gets a call from one of our family members in Mexico telling us that my great grandmother, my father's grandmother, passed away. We are an hour away from boarding our plane. We are an hour away from boarding our plane. And my father gets the call that his grandmother, my great grandmother, passed away. Now, thank you. I appreciate that. It's okay. We're all good. We're all good. But yeah, so truth be told, I was not ever really close to her. She lived in Mexico, and I didn't visit enough, just because we would only go for we would only go to Mexico for about 2 weeks at a time in a given year, and we would visit her a total of a day. So I never really got close to her. I didn't really know her all too well. So I'm okay. I'm sure my father is you know and the rest of that family is mourning, but personally I was never close. I like, yeah, I'm sad because a family member is dead, but it's one of those things where I didn't know her too well. But yeah, so that happened an hour before we boarded the plane. We board the plane, and then we get off the first plane because we had a layover. So we get off the first plane, and we immediately have to run to the other plane where they switch the gate on us an hour before, which was fun. So we had to like figure all that out. And then we finally get on that plane, and we make it to Cancun. Right? We make it to Cancun, where we find out at the airport. Well, we don't find out at the airport. My parents get scammed out of $300. That's the first thing. So we did end up getting scammed, but that's okay. It was only $300 compared to the $400,000. But yeah, we did. It was this dude pretending to be part of the hotel. Um, that we were staying at, the resort we were staying at, and then he ended up not actually being part of it, and we only found that out the following day after my parents told the resort about that man and asked about him, and we're like, hey, is this true? And they were like, probably not, this is probably a scam. And so we forked over $300 for nothing, so that's cool. But hey, we the thing is the resort was really cool about it. They were like, hey, what did he promise you? Because whatever he promised you, we will do for you. So everything the man promised us, to like take us places and like give us some free stuff, the resort honored, and they gave us everything. We were able to do everything. So really great experience with this resort. I honestly could not like praise the resort enough. It was awesome. Um, so yeah, that was something that was really cool about it. Was they So we ended up really not even being scammed because they gave us everything for free. The resort gave us everything for free. So the trip we were going on, we were supposed to go on, the the free stuff he was gonna give us. he was supposedly going to give us. The resort gave us all of it for free, so that was pretty chill. Um, so yeah, that happened. So yeah, so anyways, backtracking back to day one in Cancun. We make it to the resort, and at this point, it's like 11 p.m. and I have not slept for 48 hours. I just want to go to bed, but the check-in process is taking literally forever. Like I just want to go to bed, and we can't get our room. Like I just want my room. I just want my bed. I just want to sleep. I don't even care to eat. I hadn't eaten dinner. I didn't care to eat. I just wanted to go to bed, okay? The check-in took like an hour because we had to get everything sorted. And so yeah, so we had to like that just took forever, and when we finally got to our hotel, I literally put down my bag, took off like my jacket, my hoodie, took off like my shoes, jumped into bed, and I was out. I was just out. Like I didn't I that was it. That was the yeah. The next day, I got to we got to the resort where we found out that they have so much stuff, okay? I went to the gym every day that I was there, besides the first day, of course. I went to the gym every day that I was there. I went to we did a lot of stuff. But day one was wild, okay? Because day one, we figured all that stuff out, and then with like the getting scammed thing, by that one dude, and they gave us all that free stuff. But then the resort was like, "Hey, we have something we need to tell you." So they took us to their so the resort is three different hotels. Their biggest one, um, we were not at. We were at a smaller one. They took us to their biggest one to give us a tour of the place because they were trying to sell us a membership, which, in all honesty, we did buy. But it was like the negotiations were real. Okay, let me tell you about this negotiation, these negotiations that happened. Okay, so we get a tour of the entire place, and there's a water park. They have like the most insane uh hotel rooms. They have like crazy everything, right? It's wild. Like there's a very clear difference between their biggest and the other two. There's a very clear difference. Like they're trying to sell you to get to the big one, obviously, because it costs more and whatever, right, yeah, it makes sense. But hey, listen. At the end of the day, they were really good salesmen. Okay, they got us good. But here's the thing. So, we get the tour. We go. They're trying to sell us this. They tell us, hey, you can buy this membership for 20,000 USD. And my parents go, "Ooh, hey chief, slow your roll. We don't have that kind of money." And so they hit us back with the, "Hey, let me go talk to my manager." And so they go talk to their manager, and this man, by the way, love him, okay? He is a god. And in my eyes, okay? Here's why. He goes, talks to his manager, comes back, he's like, "Talk to my manager. Here's what I can do for you. $6,000, and I can get you uh a baby version of the plan." Okay? And the way their plan works is number of weeks that you get at a discount. So the $20,000 was 25 weeks. He was trying to give us a plan that was 6,000 weeks for, or sorry, not 6,000 weeks, $6,000 for 8 weeks. Okay, with the added bonus that he was giving us some free stuff on top of it for $6,000. And then and around this time is when I like started to like gravitate towards my parents to like get their feel for like what was going on. And I'm sitting there with my parents, and the dude notices me, looks at my shirt. By the way, I'm wearing a PewDiePie shirt that if you guys know PewDiePie, he has one of his merch lines was JoJo themed. like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the anime. It was JoJo themed. Mine, yes, perfect. Yeah, so mine was the JoJo's Big PP Adventure shirt. He saw the JoJo's and said, "Brother, you have a JoJo shirt on. I love you for that, so I'm giving you 2 more weeks for free." And then he added 2 weeks because I was wearing a JoJo shirt. My man is a weeb and gave us free stuff because I was wearing a JoJo shirt. This is real. This really happened. I wish that you cannot make this up. Like even if I wanted to make that up, that wouldn't even be where I went. I'd go with something more normy like Full Metal Alchemist or something. I wouldn't go with like if I were making this up, I'd go with like that. I wouldn't go with JoJo's. A lot of people don't like JoJo's. This is real. This is so real. Okay? And then he sweet talks my parents a little more, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not a bad deal. He was like, listen, for $1,000 more, I can give you 15 weeks plus all the free stuff I've already given you. And so that's the plan my parents ultimately ended up going with was $7,000 for 15 weeks plus he gave us a additional week for free to go to Disney, a week free to go somewhere else, and a week free for something completely different. So we had those 3 weeks free plus 15 weeks. That was the official. That was the final deal we ended up going with. For $7,000, which is honestly not terrible. For like like they showed us like the discounts that you get with that, and it's crazy. You get 4-star, 5-star plus hotels for like $80 a night. It's insane. Okay, like it's wild. So yeah, so it's pretty good. When their original deal was 20,000 for 25, we get 10 less weeks and 13,000 less dollars. That's pretty good, right? Like that's not terrible. The negotiations went splendidly. But it was also around this time, not like while my parents were finishing up the final paperwork, it was around that time when one of the other people, the person that took us on the tour, because the person that took us on the tour was different from the salesman. The person that took us on the tour noticed that my siblings and my friend, all three of them, were getting really bored. And so he goes, "Hey guys, do you want to let the parents finish up while I take you guys back to your hotel room and you guys can like go do whatever you want?" My parents go, "Can you do that?" And he goes, "Absolutely." They turn to me and they go, "Do you want to take them so that they can shut up and stop complaining?" And I go, "Sure, I can do that." And so I take them. We go back to our hotel room, and then the four of us collectively go to the pool, where we have a amazing time. The pool not cold, amazing, awesome, and like there were so many people there, and it was great. It was fantastic, genuinely amazing time. After that, we go on the beach. When my parents finally arrived from the paperwork, we all decided to go to the beach. Um, After dinner, so we go to dinner, and let me tell you, the food on the resort, some of it was mid. I'm not gonna lie, but some of it was like chef, like Michelin star chef good. Okay, it was top tier. Sorry, I had to cough. Um, but yeah, some of the food was top tier, best food I've ever had. And let me tell you, that was that was day one, two. That was the first actual day of being at Cancun. Day three, nothing much happens. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty. It was pretty. It was the most boring day of the 3 days we were actually at the resort. Day three. So we were there. So we left on the third. We got back. Well, never mind. That's a story for later. But the last day. So we left the third, which was let me backtrack in the calendar here. The third was Wednesday, and we left Sunday, the 7th. So we were at the resort a total of 3 full days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Again, Thursday was the least eventful day until until oh boy, until I was already asleep because again, I didn't sleep much the previous night either because my parents we went to bed at like midnight again because we were just doing stuff, and then my parents woke us up at like 7 because we had to go do some stuff. I lied. It was still pretty eventful. I just remembered what happened. We went to so Friday was the day that we were supposed to go on all of the trips with the other dude that the resort honored for us. So they got us in for free to this boat ride to a different island, a part of Cancun, which was, by the way, just beautiful. Like I have some pictures. I'll probably post them in the Discord. Just absolutely beautiful. Like hands down, most beautiful, like absolutely phenomenal place. Um, just incredible, like absolutely great. So we go there. We have some fun there in the island. We buy a lot of stuff. I That was my day to spend. I bought, by the way, because I'm Mexican and I love my like I'm American. I was born in the States, but my family is Mexican, and a part of me still had like a part of my heart still I love Mexico. Honestly, a lot more like in terms of sports, soccer is my favorite sport. It's the only sport I pay attention to. And the Mexican national team, I love them. Okay, I love that team so much. All right, we might not be great, but I love them. All right, I root for them every World Cup. I root for them every game that they play. All right, so while we were there, I bought three. Count them, one, two, three of their 2022 World Cup jerseys because they all looked amazing. All right, in my defense, Your Honor, they looked awesome. Okay, which ended up costing me a total of like by itself, it only ended up costing me $100, which in the States each one goes for like $90. Okay, so each one would have cost me $90. I only spent $10 more for all three. So that's a win in my book, personally, you know. Now, that happened. I also got myself my first ever bucket hat, by the way. Bucket hat moment is real. I love that thing. Do I have a link to my server? Yes, I should. That should be it. If that doesn't work, send me a message. Or send another message, please. If that doesn't work. But that should work. I hope it works. I'm going to make sure that's what it is right now. Let's see. That is not it. Okay, wait, hold up. This is the server. That's the one. That's what you want to click on. My bad. I gotta update that. That's old. Okay, I gotta fix that. That's the Discord server. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll post them right now. I'll post the pictures right now. Let me find them and post them. Gotta make sure I don't post any of myself because I have a lot of pictures of myself with my face. So gotta make sure I post the right ones. But just phenomenal. Let's see here. There we go. Welcome, zombie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's see here. Let's find my pictures that I took. Okay. Here are some just all right. There's a video included in here. There's a sunset. Here's what the hotel looked like too, or what it looked like from our balcony. And one of the balcony pictures is also of a sunrise. So I'm gonna post that. They're all uploading right now, but one of them is a video, just absolutely phenomenal. All right, like just beautiful. All right. So yeah. So um yeah. In order, they are one of them. This is a picture. So the first one I think is a picture of. I don't even remember. I forget exactly what order I took these in. If I'm being completely honest. Let's see here. I don't. Yeah, but these are all like the views just wow. Oh, that's loud. I know, it's clear as day, okay? Crystal clear. It's insane. All right, like absolutely wild. I got to make sure that okay, good. Okay, we're good. Yeah. All right, but yeah, ocean crystal clear, okay? I could see to the very bottom. Gary! You sick, bro? Sounds like yeah, I am sick. Actually, I'm getting to that, Gary. I'm getting to that. We're in the middle of the trip talk. But how are you doing, my friend? I missed you. How are you doing? Oh my god. To catch you up, I'm gonna give you the Spark Notes to catch you up. All right, Spark Notes here. So, the day before we left, found out that the rest of my family got scammed out of a trip, totaling $400,000 USD. Um, Cold but good. Yeah, I'm freezing right now. Um, that was Spark Notes number one. Spark Notes number two. Day two, found out that my great grandma passed away. Um, an hour before we boarded our flight. Uh, I was also running on an hour of sleep. And then we finally made it to the hotel around 11 p.m. and I just wanted to go to bed. It took an hour to check in, and I ended up falling asleep as soon as I got into my bed. Those are day three. It was we went to the island. You should check Discord to show you to see the pictures and video that I took while there. Um, Pretty cool stuff. We went to an island. It was very fun. Bought a lot of stuff. Got myself my first ever bucket hat. That's where I was. Got myself my first ever bucket hat, certified bucket hat moment. Honestly, that thing is right on my chair on the other side of my bed, and I love that thing. It's so nice. It's so nice. I love it. But yeah, so then we finally went back to the resort after the trip to the island, and it was great. It was fun. Until because there's another until I was already asleep. I had passed out. I wake up the next morning. And to give you the layout of how we struck, we had two hotel rooms. It was myself, my brother, and my friend, in one room, and then my parents and my sister in the other room. Um, so I woke up. It was myself and my brother in one bed, and my friend on by himself in the other bed. I woke up to the bed being completely empty except for myself and my friend in the other bed. So I wake up my friend. I'm like, "Hey, where's my brother?" And he goes, "Oh, I think he ran to your parents' room last night." I was like, "Oh, why is that?" He's like, "I think he had a panic attack." I was like, "Oh, well, that's not good. That's really not good." And he goes, "Yeah, something about his school." I was like, "Okay." And as my friend finished telling me that, I get a call from my mother, who calls me and she goes, "Hey, by the way, if you're curious, your brother is in our room. Do you want to?" And she goes, "Do you want to know what he hit us with at 2 in the morning?" I was like, "What's up?" And my mom goes, "Your brother got kicked out of college at 2 in the morning." Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress enough the amount of panic that went into my body when I heard that. Okay? I cannot tell you the amount of stress, the amount of anxiety, fear for God, for my brother that I felt, because it was immense. It was crazy. Okay? I was I was it was I so my brother is an idiot. For several reasons. His first his first thing that he tried was he tried to lie about why he got expelled. Which, when you're already saying that you got expelled, you don't want to make it worse by lying, okay? Tip number one. If something bad happens and you know that you messed up, don't lie about it. Okay? Don't like, if you're going to already admit that it happened, don't lie about the details as to why it happened. Okay? That tip number one. I might not be the oldest person here. I might not be the wisest person here, but I think that's some pretty wise advice, okay? Um so yeah, that's advice number one. Tip number one. It was eventful for sure. Okay? You're not we're not even at the worst part yet, okay? We're not even there. We are not even there. So, turns out, my brother's first, okay, hello? Hello? Hi. Oh my gosh. My first idea was to lie about why he got expelled. His lie was that he simply forgot to fill out some paperwork on time. And so they kicked him out. That was his lie. So, that was the idea that my family was running on until Saturday at around noon, when my parents checked my brother's school email and find out that my brother didn't get kicked out because he forgot to fill out some paperwork on time. It was because he failed every single class. He failed all of his classes. He didn't pass a single one. And here's the thing. I wouldn't be mad at him if he had told me about it beforehand, because my brother called me 3 times a week, every week while we were in class. He called me 3 times a week, minimum. And not once did he think to tell me about this. Mind you, there's no way he could have thought that I would judge him for several reasons. One, I raised the kid, okay? I raised the kid for most of his life. 2, I myself have already failed classes before. So, and he knew this. So there's no way he could have possibly thought that I would judge him for failing in class. Because he knows that I have failed classes before. So how on God's green earth he didn't think to mention it a single time during these 16 weeks? Take that, 16 times 3. How many calls is that? It's 48. 48 calls between my brother and I. And not one of those calls he thought it would be a good idea to tell me that he was struggling with all of his classes. That is why I'm mad at him. I'm not mad at him because he failed. I'm mad because he never told me about it until it was too late. So, if y'all are ever struggling, don't be stupid. Listen, see, Gary, that's very true and very fair. But the thing is, there's a difference here. There's a difference because, yeah, like I said, I failed some classes, so I can't judge him. I'm not mad at him. I'm not judging him for failing. I'm mad at him for not coming to me. The person who raised him. I raised him for the majority of his life. On top of that, I also failed classes, and he knows that. So there is literally zero chance in there. I cannot fathom a chance in his brain that I could have judged him for it. And yet he still didn't come to me to ask me for help. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? That's my one thing. It's like I'm not mad at him or judging him for failing because again, I failed. I have failed before. I'm not mad or judging him for that. I'm simply just upset that I guess I thought more highly of myself than I actually was in his eyes. I thought that raising him for most of his life would have, made him realize that I'm not going to judge him for anything, but I don't know. That's just me. Where what's done is done is how the saying goes. What's done is done, and he's on a different track now. He thinks he's figured out what he actually wants to do. He wants to go to cosmetology school now. So here's to hoping he does. Here's to hoping he's able to make a career out of it. Here's to hoping that things go well for him. But for now, like that's just Monsters University. Yes. Oh God, sorry. Um, Geez, the cops hit me out of nowhere. Um, but yeah, so that's that. Saturday, while we were taking a tour of the big hotel, on Thursday, Saturday, they told us that we could get a free day pass to go check out all the stuff at the big hotel. And so my dad opted to make it for Saturday, and so that's what we did all Saturday. We went to the big hotel. They had a bowling alley that we played bowling in. They the water park, which was awesome. They had a lazy river. It was great. They had a bunch of water slides. Very fun. Um, we had lunch there at an Italian place. Best meal there the entire week. Okay, the food there, crafted by the gods. I swear. My friend, my brother, and my mom all got massages. There was an arcade, which like there was an arcade in all three of the hotels, but this one was the biggest and it had the most stuff. It was wild. Okay, we played there for like an hour. It was great. Genuinely a fun time. Um, then Friday, was it Friday night or Saturday night? I forget if it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Saturday night. Yes, it was Saturday night. Saturday night. My brother had booked a dinner for us that was hibachi. They had a hibachi place at our hotel, which hands down, second best food there for sure. Second best food there for sure, but smallest portion, unfortunately, because everything else was like all you can eat, but that one was like they had a set list meal and it was the smallest that they had, unfortunately. So I did end up after that dinner. I ended up going to a different place to get a second dinner because it was small. And so but that's my only qualm about it was that it was a smaller portion. That's it. But food, amazing. Couldn't get enough. Um, yeah. So that was Saturday, but before I went, so because like I said, I went to the gym the entire time I was there. So I went to the gym. That was fun. Um, had a lot of fun time there. I think I was like I think I was it was crazy because the first day that I went there was like two people there, three people, something like that. Second day I went, I think I had the gym with one other person, and the third day I went, I was the only person there. Good times. Great times. When I can work out with minimal to no people there, oh, beautiful. Amazing. I loved it. It was great. But yeah. So that was that. We go so after that, we all go back to the hotel rooms and we go to bed. I go to bed, and here's where we get to the craziest part of the story. I go to bed around 10 p.m. because I am tired from the gym, from everything we did that day. I'm tired. I go to bed at 10 p.m. to be woken up by my mother at 1:30 in the morning, telling me to go downstairs because we unfortunately got my room was in the second floor, my parents' room was in the first floor. So they tell me to go downstairs to their room because our flight got canceled. Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but about the Alaska Airlines incident that happened, but because of that incident, my family's flight got canceled. Because the same kind of plane that the Alaska plane took was the same kind of plane my family was going to take back. If you don't know about the Alaska airline incident, I will go into it now. So Alaska Airlines was going into was taking a flight, and they 20 minutes into the flight lost one of their panels, one of their side panels. 20 minutes into the flight, they lost one of their side panels. Thankfully, nobody died. There was no injuries, and the only casualties were 2 phones. And by that I mean they survived. One of the phones survived a 16,000-foot drop. I don't think they found the other one yet, but that one survived, which is wild. The only casualties were those and a shirt. One shirt. That was the only casualty. Nokia, I swear, bro. I swear it was no, it was a freaking Apple. It was an iPhone, which is the weirdest thing. Those things break at like a 2-foot drop. I should know. Sorry, more coughing. But yeah, those things break at like freaking 2 feet from the ground drop. But they survived a 16,000-foot drop. What is this math? Where is the math? The math ain't mathin', alright? So, anyways, so that incident caused every single flight that had that kind of plane to be canceled. So our flight got canceled. So my dad and my mom both panicked, but they panicked in the exact opposite directions. My father panicked and was like, "We need to go to the airport right now." It's January. It is January. So hello AJ, by the way. How are you doing? So my dad panicked in the sense that he was like, "Our flight just got canceled. We need to go to the airport right now and figure out what we're going to do." While my mother panicked and said, "Our flight just got canceled. We need to buy a different plane ticket right now." And because whatever my mother says goes, because that's how this family dynamic works, we ended up staying up from 1:30 in the morning until the following day because my mother wanted to get a flight. And so we did get a flight on a different airline for the following day. So we were now stuck at a hotel where our reservation ended that day, waiting to get to the airport, only for us to get to the airport that day, Sunday. We got to the airport. We get to the airport, and at this point we have new tickets to a different flight. But my parents are still adamant, and rightfully so. They're adamant that they want they want the original company to pay for a hotel for us at the very least is what they could do, right? Because to be fair, they did screw us over. Only for my father's hunch to be correct, because we were told that at 9 in the morning, other airlines sent rescue flights to relieve the people of Cancun and take them home. Had we gone to the airport when my father said, we would have been home on Sunday. However, my mother panicked and said we should get a different flight. The flight was not until Monday at 6 p.m. At this point, we are now looking at no hotel, having to either find another one for the night or stay at the airport for the night. And my parents opted to look for a different hotel. The one thing that the airport person told us, the from the other company, they told us that so we had already gotten a refund, by the way, AJ. I know you. I saw that you pointed that out. We had at that point already gotten a refund. Like it was in the process of getting us the money. But because we had already gotten a refund, they told us that they couldn't do anything. And even if they could do anything, they couldn't get us a hotel for the night because all of their hotels were already booked. So we were left stranded in Cancun with no hotel, no place to stay, and 26 hours left until our flight. So my parents finally decide to look online, and we find a hotel that is relatively cheap, given the circumstances. And so we go, or so we book it, and we asked taxi to take us. So we go, we show up. It's in the middle of nowhere. Mind you, the hotel itself looks great, looks awesome. Like on the inside, on the outside, terrifying. Literally middle of nowhere, in the middle of the jungle. Okay, that is the kind of place that we're staying in for the night. But we stay, and it was fine. The beds were very firm and not very comfortable, but besides that, it was fine. It was a bed to sleep on. Um, and you know, we go Cabin in the Woods 2. Yeah, the Getting. Yeah, exactly. Cancun sounds like a tropical place. It is a tropical place. So it's not really like jungly. That's the word my friend used to describe it. It's like tropical woods is what's around. Um, and so you know we so the same dude that dropped us off at the hotel picked us up from the hotel to take us back to the airport, right? Cool dude, awesome dude. Um, he goes while we're driving away from the hotel. He goes, "Yeah, I didn't want to tell you guys this while we were, heading to the hotel, but this hotel is located smack dab in the middle of all of the drug cartel stuff." Oh, thanks, dude. Thanks for that. Thanks for telling us that we were in the middle, the smack dab in the middle of all of the drug cartel stuff. Again, thankfully, he told us after we were gone, but still, the balls of this man to tell us that at all. All right? It was, "Yo, Juice, what's up, my guy? How's it going? I'm telling my story of my Cancun trip. How are you doing? How are you doing, sir? Are you going to stream today? Because if you are, I might send these boys over to you. Because I'm wrapping up. I've got like maybe another 10 minutes. Really? No way. You are? Okay, perfect. Cool. All right. Once I'm done here, I will send them your way, sir. Yeah, dude, might as well been. All right, like it was wild. It was wild. Yeah, AJ's here right now. Um, but yeah, we get to the airport. We go through like the TSA and we do all that stuff. 30 no 20 minutes before 20 minutes before our flight is supposed to start boarding, my dad checks the app because our flight still not at the docking area of the gate that we were originally told. Still not there. And so my dad goes, "Hey, this is weird. We've got like 20 minutes left." So he checks the app, only for them to silently switch the gate on us and not say a word about it. So with 20 minutes to spare, we have to sprint all the way to the other side of the airport to be able to make our flight. We made it, thankfully. We did make it, thankfully. And we got a direct flight back home. The flight was 4 hours, but it was 4 hours not because the actual flight was 4 hours. It was 4 hours because we made it in 3.5, and it took the ramp people 30 minutes to put out the ramp. 30 minutes. I was so like at that point. First of all, we had made it there at 8:30 p.m. It took them 30 minutes to put the ramp out, so we didn't even end up starting to get off the plane till 9. Most of us were in the back, the very back. I was like 5 seats away from the bathrooms. Okay, so it took me another like 15 minutes to get off because everybody has to like file out. And then we had to go through customs, which was agonizingly long. The line, actually getting through customs once we got in was like really easy. But like the line was painfully long. And then we had a 2-hour drive home. And let me tell you, that was the first time I had slept in another 48 hours. Was that drive back home. Oh my god. It's just this entire trip was amazing while we were in Cancun until the airport situation happened. And then from that moment on, awful. Just like the worst experience of my life. That's not true. It's not the worst experience of my life, but one of the worst experiences of my life. But yeah, it was like the trip itself, the actual visit to Cancun and all the stuff that I did, phenomenal. The flight situation getting canceled sucked. But we made it back in one piece. Should have just went to Walmart. True, Walmart would have been so much better. I'm kidding. No, I honestly would not trade it for the world. That experience was very fun. But yeah, um, great time, amazing, phenomenal time. Um, 24-hour Walmart challenge in Walmart. Yeah, yeah. Vlog myself in Walmart for 24 hours. No, no. Um, so that is the story of my trip to Cancun. Fun fact: one of my VODs self-uploaded itself to YouTube. It was one of my VODs that I purposely did not upload to YouTube because I was listening to copyrighted music. And I found this out because I got an email saying that my video had been blocked in every country. So I sorry, I had to cough again. So I went to go check. And yeah, I found out that it was one of my recent VODs, streamed VODs, and it was because I was listening because I very clearly was not trying to. It was one where I was doing homework. I was not going to post that on YouTube. I'm going to post this one on YouTube because this story is wild, and I want everybody to hear it. So it's going to be commemorated forever. But yeah, that's my story. That's my story. I am sick. Oh, I got sick on the flight. On the flight back, I got sick. That's the part of why I'm sick. I got sick on the flight back. Got onto the plane, immediately started feeling not great. Wajdia? Wait, the country of Wajdia? Is that a real country? Wait, I gotta look this up. I'm curious now. Dictator reference. I see. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. But yeah, that's my story of the absolutely wild, insane, crazy trip that happened. So let's recap, shall we? Before I send you guys over to Juice, and you should stay for Juice's stream because he's cool. All right, he's a cool dude. But let's recap really quick. So recap. What happened? What happened was before my trip, found out that the rest of my family got scammed out of $400,000. My great grandmother passed away an hour before we boarded the flight. We showed up to Cancun and it took an hour to check in. I fell asleep immediately, falling onto my bed because I was running on 48 hours of no sleep. My parents bought a membership with the resort that we went to because the dude was a weeb. That's not actually why, but it was really funny. You should go back and check out why. I say that he was a weeb. I'm not kidding. We had a fun time in Cancun. My brother got kicked out of school. And then our flight got canceled. Good times. There's the spark notes for anybody that missed the beginning. Yeah. All right, that's it for today. Like I said, I am sick. I don't want to exert myself too much with my voice, just in case I lose it. But once I'm not sick, I just wanted to update you guys, tell you guys that crazy story. Once I'm not sick, which should be, yeah, 400,000. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, you should go back and listen to that entire part of the story. Like I said, I'm gonna post the VOD. It'll be here on Twitch. It'll also be in YouTube. So whichever one you want to take a look at, you'll see it. You should go back and watch it. It is only an hour long talk. Yeah. So yeah, you should totally go check that out. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. I'm gonna send you over to Juice's stream because he's a cool dude. He's a cool lad. He's one of my friends. Love that man. I'm gonna set that up right now. We're gonna raid Juice, so please join that. Because he's a really cool dude, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me raid him. He's a cool dude. All right, we're ready to raid, boys. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go raid him.